Hi, my name's Julie Steele, and I represent District 3, Position 3. I am a former educator in Olathe from many years ago, and I have lived in Olathe most of my life and was educated here in Olathe at Northview Elementary and then Santa Fe Trail Junior High at the time, and graduated from Olathe North High School. My husband is Tim. We've been married for 27 years, and we have 4 kids, all Olathe graduates except for the 13-year-old who is still in middle school. Our oldest is currently in med school, and our 23-year-old is our special one, and she's in a special ed program at Johnson County Community College. And our 20-year-old's going to graduate next May from KU. And I always like to say this is what Olathe District did for our family. They're all thriving and finding their way in life, and we're so thankful. I so believe in the mission of Olathe District Schools, and I've seen it not only in my own family, but I see it in our community all the time. I truly love Olathe, and I truly love our district. I want to be a part of that and be a part of that story that we like to tell through all of our students. It was a hard call to decide to do this. I joined the board in a time that was a contentious time for our community, but I see a great future of only positive things as our community comes together. And we band together for what's right for kids and right for our educators. And I love Olathe. I always have since I was a student here, and when I see what my kids got out of Olathe District, I love that I'm a part of that for 29,000 plus other kids. In Olathe, we've never said that we have arrived. We're always looking for what can we lean into and do better. We're proud of the accomplishments and the progress we've made, but honestly, we don't live in that space very long. We're constantly going, what's next? What do we need to listen to as far as what are our students telling us? What are our families telling us? What are our educators telling us? And where do we need to spend and put our energy and our focus to improve next? I think that's brave. I think that that's true leadership when you're willing to say, we're going to sit here for a few minutes and say, gosh, I'm glad that turned out the way it did, but where do we go from here? And what can we do better next time? And where do we need to put our concentration so that we can reach a whole nother subset of kids? I love that about Olathe. We always want to be doing better and do right by our students. We're never going to stop trying to say that we've prepared every student that leaves our district for their future. And that means sometimes college readiness, sometimes workforce readiness, sometimes that means a career and technology future. And we've gotten so much better at that over the years. I graduated in 1989, and really I remember all we talked about was college. Are you going to college? And there were the kids that were going to college, and there were the kids that weren't. And I don't remember thinking differently about either one of those tracks. And now, as it should be, there's this whole host of options for kids. I love that, and that's what we should be doing. There isn't one way that's the right way beyond high school. And so when we say preparing students for their future, it's 29,000 plus students preparing each one of them for whatever their future might be. What I love most about being on the board is when I'm in the classrooms. I love that. I had the privilege of being in the classroom that I taught in, and I also have one of my former students is now a teacher at the school that I taught her in. There's just nothing like it. Reading to a group of kids, I love when I get that time with other educators. And some of those conversations have been hard, but they've all been so important. And I love when they feel like they can share, yes, successes, but also trials. I love being there for them and being a listening ear. And that time with our students is amazing. A senior at Olathe East who's working on a project in our design academy, and he was working on the design of churches in Europe. I was amazed at the words that were just falling out of his mouth so naturally. He was educating me. So anytime that I'm with our students, they just amaze me, whether they're 3, 10, 18, they're just so impressive to me. So that is definitely the thing that is the most, it's my bucket filler. One thing that I think is important to understand when you're on the board, that it is about working with 6 other people. One person is not there to do the job of making change. You're there to work with 6 other elected people, a board of 7, to come together for what's best for our community, what's best for our district. One thing we know, and data actually shows this, which really surprised me, that when a board is functioning well and is effective, that student data with test scores and with success is actually better. So I think when, as a board, we work together better and we learn to do that, we are benefiting our students better. If I could say a few things that are goals, we are forever working, as is our police department and our fire department here in Olathe, working to recruit diversity. Most of our places that are public serving spaces do not match what our community represents. And we need to work on that, and we all are collectively sharing ideas. How we get people to want to be here is another story, and we've got to work on that. We want diversity. I personally am a mom to a kiddo who is diverse, who has yet to see herself in her own educators and administrators. And I very much want her to have that experience before she graduates. So I'm committed to not only supporting our DEI initiatives within the district, but also helping with that recruitment and retention of our current educators who matter so much to our students that come from diverse backgrounds. I would like patrons to know that we have really so much in common. I am them. I've lived in Olathe since 1978 with a few spurts outside of that. I was in 2nd grade when my parents moved here. My parents taught me the value of volunteering and civic service in your community, and it really left a mark on me on how important that is. And I would want our patrons to know that really we're so much alike. I love this place. I'm a mom to kids that grew up in this district. I'm an employee. I go to work every day. I understand the landscape of Olathe, the landscape of Johnson County. I value those conversations with constituents. Whether we are the same or different politically doesn't matter. Whether we're the same or different on how we feel about the best way to educate kids, I want those conversations. And I think because we value being here and value our kids being here, we are very much alike. And I think that's one of the things that maybe we've forgotten. Maybe it was, I don't know, we all want to blame COVID for everything. Maybe we forgot that we're more alike than we are different. And I think that's what I'd want to say to fellow Olathians is that we are more alike than we are different. My dad spent over 20 years on the Olathe City Council, so I spent a long time attending meetings, watching him serve, and kind of got my curiosity going. I've also, when I was a teacher, enjoyed watching the process of the board, and honestly fell away from that when I was a busy mom. And I really value these moms that have littles that are paying attention to what's happening on the school board and come and speak to us. That's a time period in my life that is a blur. I do not remember that. But I think being a part of a family that valued service in their community, as well as having been a former educator, it was always something kind of, I don't know, shaking around back there. Why did I do it when I did it? I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know why I chose that time period, but I'm glad I did. And truth be told, I'm I'm very thankful to the person that was in the seat before I was, because he was a big reason why I chose the time that I did. He really he worked on me. So.